Jing. I think we're live.
Are we?
Oh, we're
I mean,
live.
We're recording?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me go see.
No. Captain Ty, we're doing a live stream.
Yeah, but it counts. It counts. I just had to
Yes,
say Zach,
we are
we're recording.
live.
Yeah,
Captain Ty, we're
it's a
recording.
live recording. It's a live recording. We're recording Captain Time live.
Well, I'm hoping we'll get some viewers because literally I was just going to do another Q&A. But I don't have any
We
cues
need
prepared.
questions to do.
No, like people were just leaving questions in the comments before. Oh,
This
maybe
is a true Q&A. This is like a back alley street Q&A. Where you just have a sign that says ice and fire, ask me anything, and people just ask you questions.
Yeah, no, straight up, it worked. It worked really well the last time.
We didn't.
All right,
I don't even think we asked people to ask you questions. People just started asking questions.
Yeah,
which was fun.
and it's a small enough channel
Oh.
that I could just like respond to chat.
Are you sure you're live, Meera? Because I don't see you
Right.
live on YouTube.
I'm watching it right now. We have people typing in chat.
Oh, dope.
We
Okay,
have-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How am I not
two
able
people in
to
chat
see
already.
this?
let's see who's there.
How am I not
Cool.
able to see this?
Oh,
okay, never
Andy's
mind. There we
here.
go. Live in chat. Look at that. There we go.
I enjoy the fact that the description says things haven't happened yet. Oh, I should probably change that, shouldn't I? Oh, live stream. No, that's correct. Live stream Q&A with chat. Oh, Jackie's here. Do I sound like garbage? Because last time we did this, I was having crunchy mic problems. I think I solved them, but maybe I didn't.
As far as I can tell you, as far as I can tell you, Selby,
Yeah, to
very good.
us,
Yeah.
you sound normal.
Yeah, it was a problem going through OBS into YouTube where I sounded crunchy the last time.
I like that name, Llama Face.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
Yeah, I think it was a bitrate issue. Okay. Jackie and Andy say we sound good. All right. So, welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm here with my friends. Friends, do you want to introduce yourself? I don't care what order. Also, you don't have to.
Yeah, no one knows who we are. We're gonna keep it a secret. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's not tell anyone.
Yeah, I'm a random internet guy. On YouTube as random internet guy. If you're interested in ice and fire bullshit.
And Bob's
Then-
Burgers.
Yeah, or some really funny Bob's Burgers crossover sketches that people don't really seem to care about watching, but should be watched. Then please go over to my channel on YouTube. Yeah, Captain Time, Zach, do you guys want to jump in?
It is I, Zach, from the club. That club being the Interesting Nerd Club and the Interesting Nerd Network, where I do videos with Tom and also all these folks and also other people. And then, yeah, you should check all of those things out.
Captain Time, do you want to say hello to the people?
Ah. I'm Captain Time. I'm here. I might have to dip out in a little bit, but I'll at least listen to the first part. So
Yay.
nice to be here.
Yeah. So this is a continuation of some of the nonsense we were doing last week, where we talk about Song of Ice and Fire and chat. You can just ask us questions because I'm an itty bitty little channel and there's like 8 of you. And so like if you have questions, if you want opinions, or like if you have random Song of Ice and Fire thoughts, you could just put them in the chat and we'll talk about them. Kicking it old school. Well, I will say last time we covered a lot of Theon, so I'd rather not do that again.
Yeah. We realized we needed a daddy issues panel, which we'll probably do at an upcoming convention because it sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a note.
Off.
I'm gonna make a
sorry,
note.
that was a bad joke.
I was gonna say, Andy, if you want to jump in once Captain Time has to go, I've got a personal limit of 3 friends in my live streams at a time. Yeah. I think Andy would also be a good panelist. we're doing.
Yeah, Andy asked if we had any opinions on R plus L equals J. I think Andy already kind of knows my opinions on R plus L equals J. Which more or less being that I think that yeah, R plus L equals J is probably the way it will go. I think that's unfortunate because it's not like thematically and narratively as good, but you know, that's bada bing, bada boom, it is what it is. So yeah, you guys can explain. I'll explain more unless you guys want to explain your R plus L equals J thoughts.
Yeah, no, if you don't mind, I'll jump in. I'm a big proponent. I sometimes feel like a climate scientist when I hear people give other suggestions in my like dread of like, no, you don't get it. But I feel like a climate scientist a lot. I'm not a climate scientist, by the way, if anybody's speculating about my job. But uh, for me, like the thing that really like sells it to me is I think Rhaegar being his father narratively will matter a lot less than Lyanna being his mother. I think Lyanna being his mother is like the more pertinent like thing for where John's story is going, and that's why I like it a lot because it's not just oh my god he's a Targaryen, he's the rightful king, yada yada yada. It's more uh, like he's not a bastard. He can be the person who reunites the North. He can be a different sort of hero than he is currently, and maybe he goes down a darker path too, and that's also still interesting.
So
But that's my like rant there.
how could he not be a bastard? That's something that's always confused me about people who say Jon Snow wouldn't be a bastard. Like, how would
Ooh,
he not be a
I have
bastard?
an answer. I have an answer for that. I've been thinking about this. I think about this a lot. So we know we have had other Targaryen jerk-offs who take a second wife, Maegor and Daemon, right? And Aegon and a few others. Um, but I think Rhaegar was trying to do the polygamy thing. So John is a bastard by Westerosi or like by Andal law, but
But not by Targaryen
by
law.
Targaryen law, he's not a bastard. Like the whole annulment thing from the show was dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So John is a bastard. It's just like, also kind
like
of not.
his role, and if like
How do you spell
if
Schrodinger?
there's a like dispute between Daenerys and Aegon, like they both might want to legitimize what the Targaryen rules are, so they both might view him as legitimate if it gets political, which it might not.
I've just decided that's how we spell Schrodinger. Everybody feel free to correct me in chat.
You should just put Shoedinger. Shoedinger's bastard.
Yeah. Those who think John is the true born son of Ashara and Ned, while Kat's kids are yeah. That's super weird. Like, Kat and Ned are married, and like, I don't think Ned would have gone through with the wedding if he was actually married to Ashara. Like, that wouldn't line up with his character as like Mr. Honorable. But a smaller lie, especially one on behalf of his sister, I think is fitting because like, and I talk about this a lot. Like, the end of his character arc in Game of Thrones is telling another lie against his conscience to protect Sansa. So, like, if John is actually just his bastard son, it sort of destroys that arc, right?
Yeah,
That Ned
Yeah,
is
I don't like the idea that John is Ned's bastard. I think that is not great.
yes, I
okay.
agree with that. And
So you think he's Brandon and Ashara's?
No, I don't think that. I think in the story he's going to end up being Rhaegar and Lyanna's because that just seems to be the way that the story went. Like it, and
Okay.
like I hope in my heart that in my weird theory about George R. R. Martin only gave D&D the part because they guessed wrong is true, but I don't think that's true. I think that likely R plus L does equal J. I just think that that's not as fun as B plus A equals J because that makes John the true heir, true born heir to Winterfell, and a bunch of his conflict around being a Stark and being a bastard has to do with the heirship to Winterfell, and so it just to me it would be just more of a fitting thing if John's whole deal is that no, John, you've been all your dreams that make you feel weird and all your weird thoughts are not true. You are actually in secret the true heir to Winterfell.
But that's
You're
like
not a
Well,
bastard.
that's too
You're a Stark.
happy.
No, you are a bastard, but you're not you're not below Rob because you're a bastard. You're basically more or less a higher born bastard.
well,
Well, so like
if you
I just think that's too neat, um, for for John, and I can't imagine like Brandon slept around a lot, and Brandon was betrothed to Catelyn, and I can't imagine him marrying Ashara.
I don't
yeah,
think he married Ashara. I think he
Oh,
just had.
oh, okay, okay, yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I think John is a bastard, but I think technically lineage-wise, he's in line to inherit Winterfell before Robb is. I think John is the true heir to Winterfell, in spite of being a bastard, because he is the only living son that we know of. Probably not the only living son, but he's the only living son that could show up of the actual heir to Winterfell being Brandon Stark. And Ned goes on at not at length, but also kind of at length about how Brandon is the heir to Winterfell and it was all supposed to go to him and yada yada yada. And so there's just quite a few reasons why I think it's more fun that way, even if it's less likely. And
yeah,
so even
and
if R plus L does equal J, I think B plus A is more fun.
And Elazar, thank you for bringing up that point. That if John was just Brandon and Ashara's, like, why would Ned keep it this deep dark secret? But like, I think we're all on the same page. Sarah of Old Stones asked, "Who are some of your favorite Song of Ice and Fire creators?" And I'm gonna use this moment to talk about in Deep Geek. If you want to know my thoughts on Robert's Rebellion and Jon Snow's identity, just go watch his series because like I just agree with him all the way down. Uh, and I mean like he's huge. He doesn't need the plug, but really enjoy in Deep Geek. Um, I mean you all know I like Glidus and Alt Swift Eggs.
yeah,
I mean
yeah. I
clearly we're
remember.
Glidus fans over here.
Yes, yes. I will also shout out in Deep Geek because I was rewatching a ton of those exact same videos when Tom and I were first formulating this channel. Well, not this channel because we're on yours, but this like community that we built and like just like getting into a Song of Ice and Fire. I don't want to take credit for too much, but like in Deep Geek, Glidus, Alt Swift X were all a ton of that. Nevada Astra is not here out of our like regular crew of people we like theorycraft with. She's the newest to getting videos out, so I really want people, if you have not looked up Navanda Astra, please go check out her stuff. It's very good. And also, like, her sense of humor is, like, top notch.
She's got air
Gotta
horns. The air horns are dope.
she's got, like, a sense of humor that speaks to me on a personal level, and that's very rare.
Yeah, Nafanda Astra definitely makes good videos. Go watch the Nafanda Astra videos.
Yeah, we've actually got a little squad here. A shout out real quick to Interesting Nerd Club. They have assembled some really fantastic channels, like all kind of together because there's the four of us and Company of the Cat. Jake Abe has a really fantastic video about Ill and Pain, which I mean, like, who else has a video about Ill and Pain? Nobody I know. We recently, Kevin Pendragon and Hills Alive, recently have joined us. We've kind of got like it's like a little bit of a snowball effect. It's like a little consortium.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Squisher King says so. There may or may not have been an April Fool's video where Nafanda Astra and I impersonated Tom and Zach. I can neither confirm nor deny this.
It sounded like a completely normal theory to me.
It was a totally normal. It was actually a really good theory. Everybody go watch that. Not right now,
Yeah,
but later.
It was as far as I could tell, just a regular theory video that me and Tom make all the time.
Yeah. Here, let's see. Favorite very minor characters. Captain Time, what do you think? Wait a minute. Assuming he's still here. I think he's still here.
I'm still here. I'm trying to think. There's a few very minor characters that I remember the names of. Like, what, Rosie from the Feast for Crows prologue? Like very, very minor characters. Many.
What about Septon Maribald? He's like a kind of a minor character. He's majored thematically, but he's kind of a minor character in that he doesn't appear in like a ton of the books or chapters.
And he delivers like the best monologue in like the
Yeah,
whole
yeah. Septon
thing.
Maribald
Yeah,
drops some bangers, but
good.
he feels just fun. Like he has dog. I'm a big dog enjoyer.
If you
Uh,
consider him a minor character, I suppose he's one of the best.
Yeah. Well, because he doesn't appear that much, I would consider him a minor character. I just think that he's just thematically super important, and he's like a big chunk of the Brienne story, however you want to pronounce it. You know?
Brian.
I always thought to say Brienne, but maybe it's Brian.
I mean, I think it's Brienne, but I like Brian because that's
Yeah.
what Roy Dotrice says. Let's see.
Who's another interesting minor? It's just like
I
a
mean-
totally up. What about the widow of the waterfront? She's kind of fun. I like the widow's son too. The we never see him fight, but I feel like he could have taken more month. You know, he just hopped to like it were no thing. He was just gonna cut Mormont down with his little choppy sword, and I'm just like, I feel like he might have had it.
Yeah. Trying to think. Like there are a lot of characters I like.
Josmond Peckleton. Josmond Peckleton's a bad motherfucker.
Masha Heddle cracks me up.
Oh, Masha Heddle's fun. Yeah.
She's great.
She, I think, is at least the fact that she's a Heddle, I think, is somewhat important
Yeah.
in
but-
linking young Griff and the Varys to the Blackfires, because the Heddles are obviously like from the head, not the Hedge Knight, the Mystery Knight, like Tom Heddle and the Second Blackfire Rebellion and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Courtney Penrose.
Oh, what about Mord? What about Mord? Do we count
Mord bothers me, and I don't
Mord,
like him at
hell yeah.
all.
Mord is the best.
You're also the one who said Rosie. What?
Mord.
Explain yourself, Captain Time.
They also have
Rosie.
this one character saved named Aussie, who is one of the mule handlers in service to House Royce at the Gates of the Moon. Mentioned once in A
King
Feast for
as well.
Crows.
Why do you like him?
Aussie is charged by Maya Stone with bringing Sir Lothar Brune, the servants down the giant lands to the Gates of the Moon.
Did you just
Mentioned
pull up a
once-
list?
No, I had that one saved. I have no idea why.
Oh.
So
Well-
Swisher King says Courtney Penrose is a good one, and I agree with that.
Courtney Penrose is featured in my favorite chapter. I love that guy.
Sarah
Forgetting your-
Sarah of Oldstone says they need more Blackfire lore. Check in soon, and I'll have a video with some fun stuff for you with all these people here doing readings.
Yeah. RIG is like the Blackfire guy.
I
Everybody
just
go
like
watch
how
his short.
Although I do
The
pl- I do-
greatest short.
I do plan to do a complete history of the Blackfires. I thought that'd be a fun series. That will be my next series. But this one, because it's Varys and Illyrio, has a bunch of Blackfires in it. So if you're interested in that,
I don't know if she has a name. I'm forgetting it. Sorry to interrupt the Blackfire talk, but there's a woman who leads Arya and her like crew of people going through the Riverlands in a clash with kings. There's an old woman with a lantern who leads them through like one chapter. And that's my favorite minor character. The one chapter, I love all the Arya and the Riverland stuff in Clash with Kings. Is really good. Terrible stuff happens, but it's some of my favorite of George's writing. And that one's one of the more like less awful from a like characters dying and having bad things happen to them standpoint. But it's just like it's a really cool like just like people are out in the wild in the like marching sort of story. And that character is really neat and also tinfoily for me because like there's a lot of people like George loves to show us characters who are like once were something great and now quietly existing somewhere else. So a random woman with a lantern leading them everywhere gets the gears turning for me.
is she old? Is she described as a crone, like the crone with the lantern?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't like know. I don't have it in front of me to like remember if she's like full on crone like, but she is a like woman in the woods leading them with a lantern through the dark, and the crone imagery is all there. And I think there is a trading card of her that makes her look almost exactly like the crone. Uh, when the I don't know how much stock and how much influence George R. R. Martin had in its design, but there's like a trading card game based on the books, or something of that sort.
Oh. Uh, Cameron, to answer your question, Tom has a regular sleep schedule like an ordinary human being. Tom and I are good buddies. I would absolutely love to have him over more often. He's just often not available. He's not a night owl like Zach and myself.
Yeah,
So, so please, everybody,
the
please do
only
not start a rumor that Tom and I hate each other or something. We're friends.
yeah, we
Uh-huh.
all
Tom
we
hates
Uh-huh.
Tom hates
fight
every
well.
single one of us. He's a
Tom
hateful,
hates all of
frightful
us.
being.
That's why he runs this
Like
server with
if
all of us
Tom
on it.
were here, if Tom were here right now, he'd tell every single one of us to fuck the fuck off, and you
He
know
would
it.
not.
He would do
Uh-huh.
that, and then he'd laugh because he's joking.
Okay, that
But
yes. No, Tom is
um,
Tom is our fearless leader. Tom is like the person who, I mean, no offense to Zach, but was I think a lot of the drive behind creating a community for all of us weirdos.
No offense to Zach,
if you want,
dumps
if you
on
want,
Zach, completely neglects RIG's part in all of this.
yeah,
No, but well, okay, so
if you
I'm sorry.
in fairness to
if you want,
RIG,
to get
I am
you can
only
do it.
here because of RIG. Because like last May, I saw his video about explaining how Mance is not Arthur Dane, and I was like, yes, I love this. And so I like wrote to him in the comments, and I was like, hey, can we be friends? Will you help me? And he was like, yeah, sure. Just like gave me his email. Uh, so,
Well,
but
I like when people make videos, and to be real, especially if Tom is listening, Tom and Zach both have done so much to give everybody a place to hang out at, and just to create a cool little community and all that. And so I've tried to invite people that I think are fun, and I think that you guys have formed a great little sphere of chilling.
oh yeah,
We can
Thank
all
you.
hang
I
out
mean,
and chill and talk about Ice and Fire, and that we can come on weird streams and talk about bizarre stuff. So
yeah.
good time.
yeah. To give a little bit of a history, the channel was Tom's idea. The Discord was my idea. Inviting in our first guest was something I pestered Tom about until he said yes, which was RIG, because I also watched those Nance Raider videos and was like, yo, this guy would totally fit in with our vibe. And then Tom just said, you know what, let's just like invite anybody who makes videos to like just appear so that we can do more of the game show things, because we both have an innate desire to be game show hosts. But deep down, Tom and I find joy in being like Alex Trebek and Steve Harvey and Pat Sajak and whoever. There's something so fun about it.
Now, how did you guys find Captain Time?
How did
Did you guys just see a
I-
Captain Time video and then be like, "Hey, let's
So-
hit it," or did he see one of your videos or?
Can pull up the message thread, but I actually found I was looking through, like channels that your audience also watches, and I saw the Interesting Nerd Club, and I saw them for like 3 weeks, and I'm like, because they have like basically the same subscriber count as me, I should check them out. So I
Like, I'm
saw
gonna
they
go
had a
hit 'em up.
Discord, and I messaged Tom, and I'm like, hey, I see you're a person, and he basically said like, I was meaning to message you once I found out how to reach you, so I joined through that.
Damn.
we both saw your Song of Ice and Fire Smasher Pass, which spoke near and dear to Tom and I, because we love the concept of Smasher Pass for fictional characters
I think
exclusively.
Did you guys do a
First
Deep Space
time
Nine Smasher
video.
Pass?
We
I
did do a
saw.
Deep Space Nine Smasher Pass.
Everybody
That
go
was
watch
one of
that
the first
later.
videos of your guys' that I saw.
And yes, we smashed every host of the decks at the end.
Yeah.
Obvious.
Smash Jadzia Dex, Smash Dr. Bashir,
Yes,
Smash
classic.
basically all of the adults on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, I said
even Gold Ducat, I don't care.
Not Quark. Maybe not Quark. Like I
I-
don't know if I could give Quark the smash after the war crimes.
You
um
couldn't give him the Umox?
No, no.
you-
I'm more of a Rom man. I'm more of a Rom man myself. Rom's a goddamn treasure. Quark's a bit of a dick.
Oh,
I like Clark.
Pinky Justice
I
says, "Did Swift and or Glimbus ever see your message about fry bread?" I don't know. It's what I get for super chatting. Don't ever super chat. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was a joke. Please send
hey,
super chats to people who have
currently,
them.
I read every super chat we get on the Interesting Nerd Club because we only ever get like 2 or 3 per stream.
Yeah, no, like I'm sure somebody
Yeah.
just like screen grabbed me saying that first part. I was joking. Um,
Please super chat. People need money to buy goats. This is a tough
Yeah.
economy for goat herding.
some of us
as
are
we all
single
know.
moms.
Yeah,
My
we all
my
know.
goat tower is completely empty.
Yeah, I myself have my herds have been reduced to only 150 head of goat, and that's depressing. No, I'm just
Oh man, Squisher King made fry bread. I'm so jealous. Will you send me some? Okay, Jackie, to clarify, I'm a single mom of a human child. The other guys have goats.
no,
A random internet guy is a single
own,
mom of a goat.
yeah, I own no goats and I have no human children. I'm a single mom of a cat.
I don't
So
even have any pets at my apartment. We would have to
You have
run that through.
roommates.
yeah, Zach is a single
Yeah.
mom. Zach is a
You know
single
what,
mom with a couple
Hazel
adult
Hazel
males.
occasionally wears cat ears, so there's an argument to be made.
Okay. I'm gonna
Lord
tell Hazel
Elazor
you said she's a pet.
Lord Elazor is a goat, which I approve of.
don't
I think that's good. I like that.
you
Yeah.
can tell Hazel that, just don't be surprised what her response is afterwards.
Is it meow? Because I'm leaving.
It is almost certainly meow.
Oh God. All right. Would you like to take a moment to discuss our Lord and Savior Quentin Martell? Quentin Martell is dead. I think somebody asked us this last time.
Yeah.
No,
Fucking
Quentin's
dead.
alive. We've talked about this.
Yeah, I hesitate on it, but I feel like there is room to believe, but I also feel like there's plenty of room for him to be dead. So that's one that I'm legitimately like, it wouldn't surprise me, but I kind of am more believing that we won't see him again.
I think we mentioned last time the idea that somebody could be like burned beyond recognition and then just be told like they watch somebody else die in that cell that may or may not be Quentin because he's too badly burned to tell for sure.
Yeah.
That could come back and be relevant later, but like don't see how it's going to be relevant for Quentin.
Yeah, the burnt bones prove nothing and all this sort of stuff. Like there's some reasons that I think that you could argue that that there's like tee off points for Quentin to be alive and for that to matter. But it's also a pretty crazy story if he's dead. So
Yeah.
Ooh.
It also like reinforces like the line of like that chapter that like sets him up for the rest of the story is adventure stinks, and he goes on an adventure that sucks and he dies, which
Yeah,
is very realistic.
exactly. There's plenty of reason to think that Quentin's whole purpose is to just be an anticlimactic death, which is weird. But like I don't know, maybe there's more to it that we're not seeing yet. There's gonna be consequences or something. But like I said, listen, in the story, like I said, there is also plenty of room for him to be alive, which would be super interesting.
Yeah, like I think the subversion in Quentin's story is exactly like what Zach said. Um, that it's the heroic journey and it's not glamorous because George has said that in interviews. He's like, oh, 7 buddies and they go on their adventure and they all come back alive. He's like, that's garbage. They're all supposed to die. Bad things are supposed to happen to them. Like that's how life works or whatever. So I think it's supposed to be like, Duran Martel waited too long. He didn't plan as well as he thought he did. And, Quentin was overconfident and he's dead. But I do think there is something to Preston's theory that his friends behaved strangely. I think they're up to something.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't think so it is possible that they have Quentin, you know, s- squared away somewhere because he noticed that his whip was on fire. He wasn't immediately immolated, is that the word?
Yeah, no, there's some tells that him not being instantly killed by the fire is kind of a tell because everything else seems to be just like instantly killed when it's hit by the dragon fire.
Yeah. So and like this is when that drives me crazy because like we just don't like Quentin's POVs. He's not a very observant guy. Like we miss a lot of details in general. Uh, so if we find out that his friends swapped him, and that the guy in the bed isn't really him, I'll accept it. But I think he's dead. Sandor is a lesbian. Kirsty, I appreciate your enthusiasm because I do like Sandor and lesbians. You know how to get to me. You found your way to my heart.
Just don't know if the math checks out.
Okay, so Kirsty says, so the Hound could be Sandra, his missing sister, turned into a boy because of the burns, and the duel with Brienne could be a parallel to Jonquil and another female warrior that fought, and the kiss with Sansa, Sandor's a lesbian. I mean, I think it's a really good fan fiction that you've written, Kirsty, and if you publish that, I will read it. You put that up on AO3, and you link it, and I will read it. You know what? If it's good and not too graphic, I will do a recording of it for you. I will do your audiobook. All right? That's a deal. You have it in recorded.
Meera reads Sandor fanfics.
Meera does read Sandor fanfics, especially when they're lesbians. just my channel, I try to keep it PG-13, so I will not be reading any R-rated fanfics, but certainly if
I
it's
will read
PG.
your R-rated fanfics.
Yeah,
Send
that
me
will
your
be on
R-rated
Meera
fanfics, I will
reads
read them.
second channel.
Okay, yeah, let me clarify.
Fanfic.
I will read silently to myself your R-rated fanfics. I will not narrate them.
I will narrate your R-rated fanfics. I will go out to a busy area in Philadelphia and stand on a soapbox and shout them through what's it like megaphone? That's the thing.
No, Zach,
Bullhorn.
don't make these promises. These are
Okay.
these are wild promises.
I never said you'd be able to prove it. You're just gonna take my word for it.
Somebody asked the favorite. Squisher King. What's the favorite Song of Ice and Fire recipe? I think Glidus and Swifty covered that pretty well. Okay, Nick Grimes and Squisher King. I'm not saying Song of Ice and Fire in general. I'm saying if if Kirsty wants me to read their fan fiction as an audiobook, it's got to be like PG-13. That's all. I interrupted the guys. What's you guys' favorite recipe?
Ooh, it's tough. I've had the. I feel like I've had something from one of the cookbooks before, and I can't remember what. 'Cause it was so long ago. But I think like I don't know lemon cakes. I'm a big lemon person. IRL. I love lemons. I love lemonade. I love just about everything that has lemons in it. So lemon cakes are right up my alley. Sansa has the right idea.
Zach is a big Sansa.
This
I,
makes sense.
when it's not like every time we play the game of guesses and who's, and I'm describing Sansa. Yeah, I'm describing like people I've been close to usually, because I've always found some Sansa energy in a lot of people I've known throughout life. Which is strange because I think like I spend most of the Sansa chapters being like, no, that was a bad decision. So maybe I just maybe there's some self reflection to learn there.
I I'm basically just keeping minutes.
Yeah. Robert's Rules of Order apply when discussing fringe Lemongate theories.
Uh,
I don't know. Lemons are great. Lemons. It's funny how over-described they are in the story, but
Yeah.
also just in Sansa chapters, so it's probably just her characterization.
Or
yeah.
George R. R. Martin also really likes lemons.
If he really likes lemons, they'd show up more than just in Sansa chapters. He really just likes describing food, and Sansa likes lemons, so that's what he focuses on for her.
Yeah. Ooh, Jackie made beef and bacon pie last year. Ooh, I recommend everybody learning to make mulled wine or wassail, however you pronounce it. I started doing that actually the first time I read Song of Ice and Fire back when I drank alcohols. Um, you can do it on its own. It's kind of like a hot sangria. And
Ooh.
you can also make it with apple cider instead of wine. And I think that's a proper wassail. I did that for Christmas last year. And I just put a bottle of brandy next to it so that it was like virgin for most people. But if people wanted to like spike it, they could put a little brandy in. It was very, very good. Highly recommend. And I didn't put lemon in it because that's what Mormont says. It's Southern heresy. Yeah. Let's see. Is the house with the red door and Bravo Senores? Yeah. Captain Time's Lemongate video is is awesome. Uh
Humbly thank you, but also that was one of the. When I was getting back into YouTube, I was like, this is one of the videos I'm gonna make. So
I
it's
died.
important to me.
I think that's my favorite video of yours. My Lemongate video took off just because I just like hopped on YouTube. It was my second ever video, and I was like, "Hey guys, guess who solved Lemongate?" Like an asshole, but
Now
it
you say
worked.
solved and everything. Does
Yeah,
this live stream say that you solved live streams or what?
yeah. I'm gonna update it.
Solved, maybe.
Solved, maybe. That's
Live
my
stream solved, maybe.
that's my trademark. Hey everybody, chat. Is the sound still okay? I was having a lot of sound problems the last time. Oh, Cameron says my favorite Lemongate theories is actually Mandela effect. That was basically my theory, but then I like backed it up with some facts and science about how it was actually Dorn. Uh, oh, hi Pandemonium. Yeah, a lot of people found my channel because of that stupid Lemongate video.
It's a pretty good video.
uh,
I also agree that it's Dorn. That makes the most sense narrative wise. I also think that where it is might not ever be like mentioned to us like directly, but the fact there is controversy and it can't possibly be Bravos will be relevant. This is like crucial to my like thoughts of where Daenerys' story goes. Is that someone at some point will point out to her that that can't possibly be true because lemon trees do not grow on Bravos. In my perception of this, it's probably Varys who says that.
Kind of like that. I prefer that a lot of these things, like R plus L equals J or Gate, like a lot of the more solid theories that exist are never actually confirmed, especially like Young Griff being a Blackfire. Like, that I don't think should ever really be explicitly revealed. I think there's enough evidence for it as is. I think that the beauty of it lies in the possibility that the audience just doesn't exactly know.
Yeah, I feel a way about a lot of theories.
yeah, and I think it's there also in part because some of what I got into with my Lemongate theory was the betrothal. Because I was not coming at Lemongate from the Daenerys chapters. I was coming at them from Ariane chapters. Um, and the whole thing about Oberyn signing the betrothal and it's witnessed by the Sea Lord of Bravos, I think there might be something there. That if they didn't really go to
I
Bravos,
like the Preston Jacobs theory that
well, what
yeah,
does
that
he say?
was
It's a forgery.
forged.
What does he say?
Yeah, it says it's forged, and because like she never really investigates the seal, and I do think that Warren, for all his forward planning, isn't above just faking it.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody involved is dead, I mean, I hypothesized that they went to Bravos first, and then, uh, like, Oberyn met them there. They did the pact, and then went to Dorne instead of staying in Bravos. Because it was like a 5 year period. Like that's the like one reason I got into theorizing is that, and no offense to any of y'all, but a lot of Song of Ice and Fire theorists are men. Um, and a lot of Song of Ice and Fire theorists don't have kids. And I know that Gurm doesn't have kids, I don't think. But like the way that children think is different, you know? So like people are like, "Oh, well Daenerys should have this, should have that." I'm like, literally anybody under 5 just like treat them like a very smart dog as far as what they remember or what they're like capable of um comprehending. Like do not treat your children like humans, please, but as far as the characters in the book, we shouldn't really expect Daenerys to remember anything from before she was 5. um
Yeah.
I don't remember where I was going with that. Hi everybody, I'm glad you're here to listen to me ramble. uh
Age of Wise is a good series by Preston Jacobs. Go watch that,
eh,
and we'll just
they've
sit here.
they've all seen Preston Jacobs. uh
Age of Wise is good though, and it's like 10 hours long.
oh
It's a
wait,
very
Danny
long. It's
just
a very long
Mandela affects
series,
the lemon
but it
tree.
is fun.
Danny will never know. She'll die. I think it's Bravos. Probably.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that, but I think like other people, like I think Danny is going to tell like her like story at some point in a political context, and it'll be like ripped apart because yeah, a lot of it happened when she was very young, and she probably remembers it very poorly.
Oh, Jackie just pointed out something, and it further supports my theory. She says Danny has a Tyrosh accent, waka waka, because that's the next part. After Willem Derry died, uh, Duran sent Daenerys to Tyrosh. It was supposed to be Arianne going to Tyrosh. Seriously, look at Lemongate through the Arianne chapters. It all adds up. Um, so Daenerys's memories from the age of 5 onward would have been beginning in Tyrosh. I'm very excited about this. Uh, building a stick tower with marshmallows test, but they do it in business school. Kids are usually best at it. Sure. Like this is I have a small son and he's brilliant and I love him. Like this is not to say that kids are stupid or anything else, but just like in terms of what children are able to comprehend about the world around them. I think it's when kids are about 9 or 10 is when they're first really able to understand things outside of their immediate family and school and community. Um so like kids 8 and younger have about the same understanding of the world as a dog does. They know their family and their house, they know the park, they know the school, but like they have a hard time conceptualizing things like Israel, you know.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
welcome back
Jackie
to the
says
stream where we're talking about Israel now.
no. Okay.
Oh no,
Jackie
no.
says treat kids like humans, just not adults. Yes, exactly. Like kids are humans. I love kids. Kids are awesome. Yeah, kids aren't
Treat
stupid.
kids like humans, but put them back in the factory. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
and
Definitely,
kids
definitely don't do that. That is
kids
the joke.
have like at different stages they're able to comprehend more and more, and so like there are some things it's not even necessarily that they're ignorant about. It's just like they're not at a stage of development where it's on their radar yet. um and so and like and that's not again, I love kids. Uh, you know, but so I actually it's one of the reasons I love these books is that um we're getting different perspectives of the world. You know, like the way that we see Sandor, and I'm probably going to get back into my Sandor apologist nonsense here. Uh, you know, but we have to remember that Sansa is what, like 11? And so her understanding of Sandor is just like this big scary man with a burned face, and she's not understanding the subtlety of what he is doing and protecting her from Joffrey. But we can see it as adults, but it's written still through the lens, the eyes of a child. Yes, Sansa is 11. Thank you. Andi, back me up. I like kids.
Meera hates children. This is the
As
Meera
No,
as
child
no.
hate stream.
as a kid, I can confirm she likes kids.
Oh yeah, Captain Time is a kid. Yeah, and then at about 25, your brain can start comprehending consequences. Yeah, because it's a 9 or 10 where where you start engaging with the larger world differently, and that's also where kids start to form cliques. It's like between 5th and 6th grade.
Yep.
Oh, it's Nafanda Astra. Hey,
Say,
lady.
hey,
Oh,
man,
hello.
hey, Mandy, what's going on?
Yeah.
Now
Hello.
Fundastra's here.
Yeah, in the chat.
Where?
Not in
Oh,
not in the Discord, in the chat.
oh,
In the
mine's
chat
not updated. I had mine
on
paused
on
accidentally.
on the YouTube, the
Oh,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
YouTubes.
Kids compared to other actual professionals typically do way better on the test. Yeah, because their brains aren't full of garbage. Like, trust me, by the time you get through, you know, like an MBA or something, your brain has been filled with just nonsense. Like, kids are not stupid, you know. Um, and left to their own devices, kids actually like tend to figure out things like in fascinating ways because they haven't been like programmed in any particular way. Like my son figured out, okay, I'm just going on this wild tangent. My son, before he turned 2, figured out that the steering wheel turned better when the engine was running. He figured out that he wanted the power steering when he was playing with the car, and he couldn't even talk yet. But like he would screech at me to turn the key so the engine was on. Because I was thinking I would just let him sit in the front seat and I didn't want to burn up a bunch of gas. But he wanted the power steering. So, like, no, kids are smart. Or at
This
least
is why
mine is.
Captain Time can figure out the sewer system and make it
hey, I
fun.
was thinking of doing that later. I was actually thinking about getting off call so I could no comment.
So you could
Sure.
Go climb
Yeah.
some
you
more
could go
sewers.
climb the sewers and live out your Mario fantasies. Don't lie to us, Captain Time. You watched the Mario movie and now you're like looking to crawl through some random pipes.
Yeah.
All right, as we
I
all
like
are.
never. Only
Yeah,
Mario game I've played is Donkey Kong, so
I don't know if they crawl
That
through pipes in the Mario movie. I haven't seen it, but I'm just
We do. It's in the trailer.
Oh, in Bravos, there's lemon scent in the canals from the wood in certain boats. And the Iron Bank has a red roof. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's lemons in Bravos. There's lemons at the wall, but is there a lemon tree?
I mean, we never really see much lemon in Bravos, but we do see people say that there's no livings in Bravos, which to me says a lot. I don't know.
And like, and they,
You can't deny that that theme is hammered home quite a few times to the point where people literally straight up say it to each other. It's
yeah,
gotta be
and
kind
like
of
trees are so scarce there that like they have dung fires, and even that is expensive. Like there's a
yeah,
whole Sam has a whole 3 pages, or not that many, but this whole
yeah,
long thing about how you can't get wood.
yeah. Well,
Um,
it's not even like a matter of like it's like you wouldn't even be able to grow a tree there the way it's described.
yeah.
Like yeah, I don't know. Like even the like the Sea Lord's palace or whatever, you'd have to argue that she was just like straight up living in his gardens. Um, like when I very first heard all that stuff, I assumed she was living in Ilyrio's fields. Like they roll through those fields and it's basically exactly what she describes: a bunch of grass fields with like stone houses and shit like that. And he was like, "Oh, I own several of these fields." He just kind of offhandedly says it. And so, like a long time ago, I was like, "Oh, I wonder if the house was actually in one of those fields." But those are all places where like way further south where lemon trees could grow, like Tyrosh or Dorne. That's all possible because like lemon trees actually can grow there.
Inky Justice pointed out in the comments that the Mercy chapter, I believe it's from the Winds of Winter, not the Mercy chapter from A Dance with Dragons, says that I do remember this because it really stands out to me. And the guy asks about lemons. The dude says, "What do you think this is, Dorne?" They're on
Yeah,
Bravos.
and somebody else says that in the
Yeah,
Storm of
yeah, no,
Swords.
in the Riverlands,
Yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
that's
the
like
right.
woman,
yeah.
woman
Told me a few
says,
times.
the woman says, "What do you think this is, Dorn? Like, why don't you just hop out back to the lemon tree and pick us a bushel?" I mean, it's like there's some lines where it's like it seems like that's
The
a
only
moderate in universe consistency.
the only reason I think it might not, I don't really put, but Blood of the Dragon, if you've read Blood of the Dragon, I haven't read the whole thing, but Dany's home is in Tyrosh in Blood of the Dragon. I mean, Blood of the Dragon's been changed a lot, but I mentioned Blood of the Dragon and everyone goes silent, like
I've
sacrilege.
What?
only ever seen the Preston series on it. I've never actually read Blood of the Dragon. So
I'm trying to remember all the changes.
yeah. But no, I follow I follow the logic that he puts out in the series. I'm like, yeah, there's an argument there, absolutely,
Yeah.
reasonable.
I think Martin's changed enough that we don't really have to believe like any of his
Yeah.
original outline stuff, but the fact that Annie's home was not in
But
Bravos, I think we can hold.
Whether it's Tyrosh or Dorne or Illyrio's fields, wherever it is, it's not in Bravos is the point.
Well,
Like
I think there's a big difference. If it's in Dorne, that has massive repercussions. If it's in Tyrosh, then it's just some wealthy person that's sheltering her.
Can't believe I mentioned lemons. This is where we're at.
Cold
what
hands
happens
is
if you
just some
mention-
random hands. um, so, Time, were you wanting to stick around? I know you'd said about the tunnels. I couldn't tell if you were serious.
I'm somewhat serious. I have a load of laundry. Is someone else wanting to hop on?
Um, I think Andy was gonna hop in, but you were here first, so I wasn't gonna kick you out.
About and let him join. I didn't realize he was in the back rooms now.
Oh, he's working on it. I don't know if he is. Actually, Zach, can you confirm or deny that?
Andy, I don't think he is, but that's an easy fix. Let's see.
I don't see him. I will just wait until he's added, and then I'll leave.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, if you want to plug your stuff again, if you want to like vamp for the audience, or we can plug your
Internet.
stuff. Wait, random internet guy,
You
can you
can-
plug Captain Time?
Okay,
Watch
I've-
Nefonda's Ostra's latest video. Like seriously.
yeah.
I need to know if you've watched Nefonda Ostra's latest video. This is a matter of life and death.
Yeah, I'm gonna link
Yeah,
that in the comments.
Yeah, definitely go watch Nafonda Ostra's video.
It is quite
someone should-
possibly the funniest
should
thing
just-
I've ever seen in my entire
yeah,
goddamn
someone-
life.
Yeah, someone should link the channel in the comments.
I'm gonna
and
link the
then
video. That is, oh my god, I
go-
died. I watched it
go
6 times. I sent it to
subscribe.
my family.
Go subscribe to Captain Time Stories, but only so you can watch the video where I impersonate Captain Time.
You mean where Captain Time just weirdly sounds like you?
Andy, you just gained many permissions on a Discord server. You should
Okay.
you might be able to see the rumor chat again. But yes,
Copy.
Oh
please
yeah, I
go
see him in the
subscribe to
background.
Captain Time. It's great.
Watch Nefonda Ostra's latest video. My validation
All right, I just
depends on you
I
liking
just
that.
linked it. I just linked it in
My
chat.
validation depends on you liking that.
The
Captain
night is dark
Time.
and full of rogue librarians.
I'm gonna have to subtly reference that from now
The
on.
night is dark and full of Captain Time.
All right, Kirsty, whenever you start that AO3, you link it, you let me know. I want to read all your stuff because sometimes your comments I don't always understand, but you know a lot of things and I want to read them more in detail. This is not a game for the ADHDers. Yeah, so everybody subscribe to Captain Time. I linked that video in chat, but like watch it after we're done here. Don't leave now because Andy's coming in. I think.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm not leaving. I'm hanging out and sitting here. I might grab food or tea here in a second, but I'll be
Ooh,
here.
I might need more tea.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
introduce Andy and I'll
More tea sounds good, huh?
yeah, more tea always sounds good.
Right.
We-
I'll leave now that he's here.
All right,
I'm
Captain
gonna
Captain
Time.
let-
Time, Captain Time, why don't you give us a commercial break, Captain Time, and then we can make tea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make
Hello.
tea. Hi, Andy. I'll be
Oh,
right
hello.
back.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll hang out with Zach and Andy while Meera makes tea, and then Captain Time, you give us a commercial break.
I gotta think of a commercial break.
Oh
It's like
God.
it's a
Um,
what's a I don't know what's a
It's all right. I wanted
No,
to vamp about the
you have
SCP
to
wiki for a little
you need
bit.
to come up with a good commercial for brown, a bowl of brown
Oh
from
boy.
from Flea Bottom. You know, you need to come up with the ultimate the ultimate Flea Bottom bowl of brown bar salesman pitch where
I was
you
I was
I would
thinking
just, I
like
would just, I would just call it McBrown, and it'd be like the cheapest option in all of Flea Bottom. Go to McBrown now.
yeah,
Ba
so
ba ba
thick
ba
so
ba. It's full of
so thick you can
flesh.
stand your
I don't
spoon
know.
up in it. You know. You can reference the whole a whole thick bowl of brown that you can stand your spoon up in thing.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay, this is painful. I'm
it's
leaving.
so delicious. It just might make you sing.
Yeah, our brown contains almost no percent people, and if they were in there, they'd probably just be some dick singer anyhow.
Yep. Hello. I should probably introduce myself because I don't know if like most people know who the fuck I am
Yeah,
as like a
introduce
rando who just
yourself.
fucking joined. So hello. I am Ondi. I also go by Stoner Tormund. I'm active on Glidus's Discord primarily, and yeah, I'm planning to also make a YouTube channel, and I have a video in the works that will come out. I hope soonish.
Very nice. What's your video gonna be about?
It's called Rhaegar Sucks.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
whole title. That's
Correct.
all the title
Diving
is.
diving headfirst into that most controversial topic of Rega.
Oh, definitely. That's the whole reasoning. I just want to, I don't know, part expose, part explain. I just want to be a smug asshole about it.
Yeah,
But also explain
we've talked
why
about Rhaegar
certain things.
before at certain points. And I do tend to agree more with the kidnapping angle, or at least the holding hostage angle. Like I kind of think that it wasn't like a wholesome. Some people think it was very wholesome, and I'm like, I don't think it was so wholesome. Um,
Yeah, it's just very, very. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. It's just that he reminds me, like in a way. I've made the comparison. He reminds me of Axl Rose and how he fucking acts, like just like a
Axl
fucking
Rose.
scumbag.
A quite good comparison.
It is. Yeah, I know.
Oh, Lord of Axl Rose, that's great.
Yeah, and I mean it makes fucking sense. And like Slash, I guess, is Arthur Dane. You know, just the whole crew is just yeah.
Yeah,
It's really solid like
Does that
that.
mean Arthur Dane went to go his own way, lived, and created a band called the Snake Pit that made pretty good music? Because I'm on board for that being where Arthur Dane is in the story.
that could
Damn it.
easily be true, given that he was from Dorne, and Dorne's associated with snakes.
Yeah,
Yep, it is.
Arthur Dane's Snake Pit. I'm on board.
Yeah,
I mean, didn't Baelor the Blessed rescue somebody from a snake pit?
yeah. He rescued Aemon the Dragon Knight.
Ah, see, that foreshadowing. There we go.
Also, another thing you should know about me, for those in like the chat, I'm a person who knows so much fucking random shit about the Song of Ice and Fire. It's unreal. Like, I know who some really random appendix, only mentioned in the appendix lords are, and
Who's that?
I
Who's that
don't know
character?
why.
Forgetting the name
Yeah,
of
yeah.
earlier.
For people in chat, like I know quite a lot about the books off the top of my head. I think most people can attest to. I usually, if I have a random question, I will ask Gandhi. Gandhi will typically have the answer if you have a question about Ice and Fire, or
Yeah,
what character said what, or what thing occurred. You can ask Gandhi.
yeah. That's me. Just someone who has way too much fucking storage space in his brain about A Song of Ice and Fire.
Price of Fire.
The uber nerd. It's fun like that.
We also know George R. R. Martin's older shit too, so that's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of cool.
I started off when I was a teenager. I received from my grandparents a lot of my dad's older books when he was a teenager, and that included like Dying of the Light and some other George R. R. Martin collections, among other sci-fi stuff. So I actually read like old '80s gum shit before I ever read A Song of Ice and Fire, which kind of
That's
colors a bit
rare.
my view. It's pretty wild, yeah. It's fun. It's fun like that.
Yeah,
It's
once you've
like
read the old Germ shit, it really kind of tilts you in the Jacob's way. At least for me, like
oh
Preston
yeah.
seems way less crazy once you read the old. Like there's still some stuff he says it's wild that I disagree with, but he a lot of his shit you're like, no, I totally get where you're coming from now that I read the old George shit.
Yeah. Aaron Fletcher is asking how everybody's doing. We are, I think, good. We're waiting on Meera to come back with tea.
Yes.
Yeah, Meera is making tea, and so we're just kind of just filling airtime until she returns. And I'm gonna
Well,
make
while we're filling airtime, you were talking about SCP in our server, which obviously is near and dear to me because I've written several articles. And I wanted to chat about SCP 5000 because it's really good.
Yeah, SCP-5000 is just it's a trip. It's a trip to read, and it's a delight. It's just a very, it's delightful.
when I when I
It's
read
been a
that one,
while since I read it.
my immediate thought upon reading that one was I'm not winning 5Con.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
can
true, I
imagine.
didn't.
Mira's back. Oh shit! No, I'm
Mira's
not.
Hello,
back.
Meera.
I left my
Hey,
tea on the
oh,
counter.
Oh,
Alright.
Run, Forrest, run.
So
I'm
yeah,
a,
Mira, you can cover for me while I go make tea.
uh,
Uh,
I am a little bummed I didn't enter 6Con, but I was too busy. But yeah, why
Makes sense.
SCP-5000?
Okay,
One of
now
the
I'm back for
greatest
real.
things I've ever read on the internet.
It is really one like I want to say that in general. I think the SCP universe is like just one of the greatest open uh, collaborative writing things that's ever happened. It's like the concept of like anyone can write anything in it, and you can be part of it, and there's no copyright, so you can just use this stuff. Like
Yeah,
as a lefty, I love this, so I'm very pro that I've I've considered
it's
maybe writing an SCP myself, but I'm not sure if I would go that way, especially because in a way I've hated the trend a bit that it has to be horror to be SCP. Like
I
yes,
mean,
SCP is horror based, but like an SCP is just anomalous. Anomalous is not equal to horror necessarily.
I have 9 SCPs on top of other articles, and I would only describe one of them as anything close to horror. So
Yeah.
they
No, but
tried
I
to
know.
touch every genre possible. I almost won the romance competition too. I'm still a little salty that I didn't place.
Nice.
I was
Wait,
so close.
SCP romance? Oh, I don't know about that.
I no, it's all above board and wholesome. Trust me.
It's
Okay.
the star-crossed love between
Uh,
Dr. Gears and Dr. Iceberg.
uh, that's not quite it, but you're not far off.
I
I wonder how many of my articles like anybody here who's read would have read. Like, I have not told the world my SCP wiki name because in one of the articles, for like a very like personal reason, I used my full ass real name.
yeah,
Uh,
then don't. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna dox myself on the internet, but I will share with friends if like somebody really wants to know it back here. But uh, it's I don't know. Like I agree with you. It's just like anybody can share off of it. Anybody can branch ideas off of it, but you can still like do other things with it. You can take it off site, and if you want to publish some of your stories, you can do that too. The fact that there's not just that much freedom and like collaborative creative space is great for me because if I want to do something with all my stuff, I can, and if somebody else wants to do something with my stuff, they can. And occasionally, stuff I have gets referenced in other people's works, and it's neat to me.
Yeah. Uh, I'm just catching up on chat.
Yeah. Maybe we should. Are we still going on to the tangent? Were we waiting for Big IRAG the notorious RAG to
go.
return.
Well, I was gonna plug a video I came across today.
All right.
Somebody just said about the Danes being stone men. It was a new theory about the oldest Starks, that they're not really statues in the crypt, that they're stone men.
Oh yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't watch all of it, but it was a really cool idea. So I subscribed to that person. I don't have it all up in front of me, but
I can link it in the thing. Maybe I should just switch to my other thing because my name is in this one. But then again, my name is like a very name for the country where I live, so I'm not. I'm confident I won't be found out just because my last name is public.
yeah, no, no,
Uh,
no, no. I think you're good. I was commenting
like
with my full name for a while and then switched over and uh,
no, because like my name is like the equivalent of I don't know John Smith in a way of like
uh, yeah,
for
mine is.
Austria, so it's like very inconspicuous.
Yeah, my name is like my first name is from one ethnicity and my last name is from a totally different ethnicity, and I don't think anybody else has the specific combination that I do. So it's like if people get both of them, they know exactly who I am, and I cannot be confused with anybody else.
Oh
You're
yeah,
doing
Glidus is in the chat.
highly Googleable.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, Glidus is in the chat. Yeah, he said, "Who was
Oh.
that?" I think he's referring to me. Hello,
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 Glidus.
hello, Glimbo.
Yeah. So
But yeah, it's a really interesting concept. Didn't manage to like get the watch the video, but it's like on my list to watch it. It's by Eldrick Stoneskin. I've linked it in the chat. I
oh,
hope the link works. And yeah, I think the concept in itself is very good, and it's apparently just part one. So maybe
yeah.
there's more to come.
Now,
Yeah.
now,
Yes.
what video is this? I just returned with my tea.
Oh, it's
Uh,
a theory that the old statues in the crypts are actually stone men.
Oh, okay.
All right, all right, all
yeah,
right, chat. We know Glidus is here. He's fine. Y'all
Oh,
don't know how
Gladys
to
is here?
behave around celebrities, clearly.
yeah, they really don't. Yeah.
I thought I was a celebrity. Come on now.
Oh, I've lost being starstruck around Glidus a long time ago.
he's he's
Ever since he got me so mad because he killed me in Among Us, I'm just no
You
longer
know what? That's
starstruck by
fair.
that man.
That would be unfair for me too.
yeah. Uh, Somebody asked us earlier about all of our favorite Song of Ice and Fire YouTubers. Mine is Random Internet Guy.
I think I will have to go with Glidus personally. Just because I think just because I don't know, I find his videos the right amount of both comedic and interesting in terms of analysis. Of course, I find Preston's theories much better because Glidus just doesn't do theories in general. But like,
uh, what was the Aurane Waters, which actually,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers was my favorite
Gladys
too.
has some theories from way back in the day.
yeah,
Um,
he does. They're
oh,
actually
Preston
Joe
fun.
probably
Magician.
still my favorite because he got me into theories, but I think Glidus makes the best videos, if that makes sense. But
Yes.
the production and the hilarity is top notch.
Yeah, Glidus just has quality.
Versus you watch the Preston videos because you're like oh, I'm a huge theory nerd. Like at least for me, like that's why I like those kind of videos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't seen any Joe Magician videos. I need to do that.
I've
Ross.
seen a couple of Joe Magicians.
Now
Sorry, I'm interrupting.
who's Joe Magician? Is Joe Magician another Ice and Fire YouTuber?
Yeah, he's one of the bigger ones. He is. I don't know if you're like aware of Crowfoot's daughter Aziz and Ashara.
Oh
Like,
wait, no, I think I do know who Joe Magician. Did he do one about the others and what's that fucking spaceship one that George R. R. Martin wrote?
uh, Night Flyers.
Night Flyers. Yeah, the crystal? Did he do one about that? Was that him, or am I thinking something?
I think it might be, but I didn't see that video. I know him from the video I know him most for. There's two. One is where he's explaining that Pretty Meris like might be another incarnation of a 5-year gap Brienne, and another one is talking
Oh,
about how strong is basically just like how Stark, because Stark means Stark is the German word for strong.
I watched that. I, for whatever reason, in my memory, had that as random internet guy.
No, that's German magician.
Oh.
And
Because so I listened to that one while I was studying for the bar exam over the summer, and a lot of them got mushed together in my head. So all I'm seeing is the house I was in at the time, where I was like scrubbing the floors and trying not to think about the bar exam and listening to random internet guy. Um,
Now, someone in the chat said, I think that an American thinks RIG. Now, I don't know if that means they think that I am an American thinks, but I am not. He is a different
no,
person. But I do like an American thinks videos. He has my favorite theory about the sword Dawn. So if you're interested in watching fun theory videos, he's got a really interesting one that involves the sword Dawn that I think is pretty cool.
I should also shout out Admiral Kurd. He doesn't make videos anymore, but he made like two banger ones. One about how can the winds of winter,
I
and
saw
one
that
about
one.
the lost Tyrell POV. Both of them banger videos, which also just give more insight into what George did. Because I knew from that video about like the different iterations of the Feast for Crows POV that later were uncovered in like the Cushing library leaks, like earlier this year, or like late last year.
yeah. Um,
So yeah,
so somebody,
I will.
Pandemonium sent us an actual question, which this was going to be a POV, or wow, a Q&A. Letters. I can't do letters, I
yeah.
guess.
This is a POV from the upcoming Winds of Winter, live on YouTube.
Uh,
Yes, this
uh,
is a live reading, by the way.
Mira one.
oh, a Meera Reed chapter actually would be really cool.
It would
Um,
be, but let's get to the question
yeah.
so we actually do this.
If Dane's house words are a spoiler for the series, what could those words be?
Dane's house words are a spoiler for the series. What could they be?
Our
Oh,
sword is made of other bones. The Night
yeah,
King was a Dane.
Uh,
something like that.
That's my own personal theory. That's a homebrew.
I mean, it could be a very like bad spoiler. It could be like, Stannis dies is their
It
house
could
word.
just, it could just be
What?
the sword in darkness. Yeah, because like the mottos, like in canon, every single house words is like some sort of rallying cry about boasting about something, except like the Starks. The Starks are like the big exception. So like, yeah, the sword in the dark, something like that might be the answer to what those words could be.
Yeah, no, I like that. I also dig the other connection to the Night's Watch. Like if they were literally like, I am the sword in the darkness. Uh,
Anyone else want to chime in? RIG, Zach?
Yeah, no, I think that's the most likely outcome is it's something about a sword in the darkness, and you can see the parallels to the Night's Watch, which would like basically confirm
Whereas-
there was a long night, a Dane was there, stuff like that. Would be pretty like huge information to have like confirmed outright.
I
So
mean,
we don't know
sorry.
as much about House Dane as we would as like people speculate about House Dane.
they're dinosaurs. House
Oh yeah,
Dinosaur.
yeah. They're like people talk about them like when the World of Ice and Fire came out, everyone was talking about Great Empire of the Dawn. Oh, the Danes are like explorers from there. Oh my god, something like that. I distinctly remember that phase of the fandom when everyone was making Great Empire of the Dawn and like fused stone theories or like oily stone theories.
Dark Star, go to your room. Chat's really on it tonight. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, it is.
Azora, I did it.
Jesse Sturgeon asked, "Why haven't you read the Winterfell Weak Claw by
Oh, yeah.
Bran Rust? Required reading, IMO." I would agree. The Winterfell Weak Claw. I don't know how you would pronounce it. I pronounce it like that because I know a bit of French. It's about like the Winterfell whole story. It's like the equivalent of like a Myronese knot kind of theory. And I would suggest that's like required reading. I'm not sure I believe everything of it, but like it's a very good basis to understand the plot at Winterfell. And dance.
Yeah, I've never heard that, so I'd be interested to read it.
Yeah.
Let me bring it up.
Dawn was last seen a horse. Oh, seen. This ain't a scene.
It's a
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
game
Horse
on-
race.
Yeah, horse racing.
Oh, I walked right into that one.
Thank you.
Where should I link this theory thing? It's like a big site where you have to like. It's like a big interactive site. Actually, it's like on its own site. Where do I link that?
I guess
put it in the resources channel back here, I guess.
I'll put
maybe?
it on the resources channel here in the nerd server. One sec. Let me find it. I'm bad with reading. I need my glasses.
You're not
Where
supposed
is
to like Tywin. Correct.
This is
Very
true.
correct. Where the fuck is that? I'm sorry. Where's the resources channel? I'm bad. I'm sorry. I don't have my reading glasses.
Okay, so this is official. Andi is older than me. Because I don't need reading glasses.
Leave me alone.
I was gonna say that makes me older than you, but I am actually older than you. So
You
that's
are
just true.
actually old. No, well, so it's been a thing for like the last week or so on the internet or whatever. I've just been surrounded by like, 19 to 23-year-olds. And they've all been calling me old. They've been, oh, Meera the boomer.
Oh, how do you think I feel? I've been around them all the time.
Well, but so we have a little bit of solidarity, Andi, but what you need to understand is that as I am 2 months older than you, I'm still the oldest. So when
I've got 6 months on Mira, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
You guys are all youngins in my eyes. You're just you're all just children compared to random internet guy.
yeah,
No, I don't think I'm actually that much older than you, to be fair.
Yeah, I posted it in the resources thing. I found it finally. Being blind.
like this is more difficult than I thought. Like props to Tom and Glidus and all the people who like write stuff while they're streaming and like are having conversations because the brain can only process one language input at a time. So like sometimes you guys are talking and I'm like typing and messing with the font and stuff and I have no idea what's going on.
Tom just trusts me to vamp for him because I have a lot of experience doing that. The level of trust between me and Tom is like legendary. I don't know if we've talked about it that much, but like Tom and I have known each other since we were in college, and that was a very long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tom and Zach are a dynamic duo.
Sarah of Oldstone says, I've had Preston Wave on regular rotation of my music playlist for over a year. It chills me out. Yeah. Like when I was studying for the bar exam, I listened to the Glidus Alt Swift X live streams just because it was like, oh, listen to these two goofballs talking about nothing and talk about their yogurt or however they say it. And I was like, this is, it takes my mind off of the impending doom.
Preston Wave is just a masterpiece of comedy. It's like I'm not sure you can go much further beyond that. Just making Preston into lo-fi chill music. It's like just a brilliant idea on Glidus's part. Brilliant.
Preston lo-fi music.
Does he know
Like,
about
seriously.
it? Has somebody sent it to him?
I think
I've never heard the Preston lo-fi, but I can imagine it.
I think Carmine actually sent it to him, as far as I know.
Good.
But
Good.
yeah, I think he knows. So yeah,
I hope that Preston listens to Preston Lo-Fi when he's working on videos.
that would be funny as hell.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Let's see. Do we have more questions? I'm like going back through the.
Yeah, let's look at this. We don't know either, Jackie, what's going on. Don't worry. We also have no idea.
You know, people had more questions for us last time. Sarah of Oldstones had a question. Uh, yeah, need more Dunkin' Egg love. Jenny of Oldstones.
Quick, someone ask a question.
Oh, we have a question?
I just said quick, someone ask a
Oh,
question.
I scrolled all the way back
Oh.
down. Glidus is
same.
Schwift's Carmine. I don't.
That's an insult to Glidus.
I decline to comment. Go into
I'm
some
not gonna
Sandor
comment
love.
either.
Pandemonium. If you want to listen to me talk about Sandor, listen to the other one. I mean, I will. I can talk about Sandor again, but that might send Kirsty off again.
What about a Sandor question? Do we got any Sandor questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, ask us about Sandor. We also have strong opinions.
Have you read the Manifesto by Cantus? I have not. If each house had a real world theme song, each house. Do you have any specific houses, Aaron?
Maybe we could just talk about the big houses in the meanwhile while he thinks of a specific one.
Each house had a real world theme song. What would it be? That's actually a good question. That
It
I would
is.
need to sit there and think on that one for quite a while.
Well,
Yep.
Tyrek Lannister's
Well,
branch of the Lannisters would be this ain't a scene. It's a goddamn horse race.
Wouldn't
You sure it wouldn't be like
wouldn't it be
horses
good
no
when
name or
they fly
something even
horses?
more on the nose?
Uh,
I
What
think the
breed of hound is Sandor?
Bassett. That's the only kind of hound I know.
Bassett?
Ooh,
I don't know. Like,
Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks.
ooh, that's a good one.
If your comment is good enough, I'm gonna copy it and put it on the graphic. That's where we're at.
Sandor is an especially aged-looking pit bull who's very sweet. I might know this pit bull.
I don't like pit bulls.
I've been forced to like pit bulls because two of them adopted me.
Pinky Justice said the Starks equals another one bites the dust, which too soon, bro. Too soon.
Too soon.
It's been like years, but still too soon, bro.
Yeah, it's been like 20 years, but still too soon.
John Steen is
John
Black
Steen,
Parade. That's
yes.
very accurate. Here's a fun fact. When Tom was writing the time traveling brand like Branos addendum that we have on our channel, his take on if you haven't seen Branos over on the Interesting Nerd Club, it's like our sequel to Preston Jacobs' time traveling brand. He was listening to a lot of Sean Paul. So for me, whenever I hear the "Shake That Thing, Miss," I think of Bran Stark time traveling.
Jordy and
whatever-
Rebecca.
Whenever our time traveling, we could
That's the
shake that
song that's
thing.
playing.
Oh wait, whose theme song is Get Busy?
Get Busy is the time traveling Bran song. Whenever Bran will travel back in time, Get Busy is playing in the background.
Sarah Volstones asked, "Was Maynard Plum a glamoured blood raven, just an age?" The text implies it was blood raven.
Oh, definitely
a
is Blood
glamour
Raven.
Blood Raven. Yeah, like pretty much unambiguously a glamour Blood Raven.
Yeah.
Come
I
on,
know
get
people like
busy.
to argue about it, but no,
Get
you're wrong.
Yeah, I
It
know.
is
Like,
blood
like
raven.
you're not supposed to argue about it. The characters in universe are supposed to argue about it, but you, the reader, are not supposed to argue about it. It's like I said, it's ambiguous because it's ambiguous for the characters, but as the reader, it's not. Like, no, it's definitely Blood Raven. Surprise.
You know what, Zach? Fuck you.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! It's Blood Raven.
This song is gonna be stuck in my head forever.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of those songs that doesn't escape when it's in your head. I probably hadn't heard that song, and like I listened to it the other day. I probably hadn't heard it in years. I heard it a lot because it was in a Dance Dance Revolution that I played a lot as a kid, and I was surprised at how much I accurately remembered every part of the song.
Oh my god. It's just because it's
Surreal
so
restart the counter.
repetitive.
Yeah.
All right, for all the kids in the audience, I'm gonna put it in the chat. You're welcome.
Oh god.
None,
Yeah.
Ooh.
none of y'all were around for Sean Paul. That name
Ooh.
means nothing.
That means nothing for Tuzumas, no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Modest Mouse. Float on the Tullys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know enough Modest Mouse for that to matter, but like I'll trust you guys on it. Why not?
Yeah.
I think I think
Mine for House Frey was gonna be Bridge over Troubled Water.
Yeah.
More like a troubled bridge over regular waters.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but you know, it's funny.
I think if Aya listens to any, like if Aya was in like the modern AU thing you guys keep going to in like your Guess and Who thing, like your Guess Who thing, I think Aya would listen to Paramore like constantly. That would be just what she
Yeah.
listens to.
She listens to
This-
Misery Business and gets really into it.
So to
Yep.
to Pinky Justice, I believe I Could Fly is what plays when people are thrown out of the moon door.
Yeah, definitely.
we don't
I
don't
agree.
need to have Quentin is dead anymore. We can just get rid of that.
See, Danny would play I Don't Want No Scrub, but she totally wants a scrub. That
Yeah,
scrub
yes.
being Dario. That scrub being Dario.
This is not a singing stream.
Danny's the kind of person who sings no scrubs and then dates a scrub.
And then Dario rolls up in like his friend's horse.
Yeah,
Like,
hanging out the passenger
Dario
side of
rolls
his
up on
best friend's
horse and he's like,
dray.
"Hey, how's it going, baby?
Oh yes, son, I'm talking
Can
to
I-
you.
Can
It's
I
one of my
holla-
karaoke
can I holla
songs.
at you, girl?"
I love it. Yeah.
A scrub is a merc
it's-
who can get some love from her. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. See there. See this. This is a good stream. This is a good stream. We're not necessarily answering the big important questions, but we're definitely answering some important questions.
Dario isn't Euron. He was also known as a buster.
Yeah. I don't know. What else? Sarah continued with the plum discussion.
Barrack's Thunder by AC/DC would be fun. I could see Barrack killing people to Thunder by AC/DC. That would be a cool montage.
Yeah, Pitbull listens to specifically the song Kulo.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe we like back to some questions. Maybe I will bring up a topic to discuss until we get some more questions to bring in to like discuss. I wanted to originally go for Daenerys, but I thought no, let's not do Dany. I think that's a too big a rabbit hole to get into.
Yeah.
Stannis. Let's go to Stannis. I
My
think
man.
Yeah.
because I have a friend who's like insistent that Stannis will lose like the battle at the Crofters village, and I'm like, how? Like, why? Why do you think that?
No, Stannis is
Have you
definitely
read the
gonna
Night
get
Lamp
that
theory? It's
Crofters
really
village.
good.
There's something else that's gonna end Stannis, and it's not gonna be the Crofters village battle.
Yeah, I think he's gonna die
and
shortly after that.
There's a couple weird setups, right? So we know that Ramses likes to disguise himself, and he's pretty fucking good at it. And we know he's killed people before by tricking them and ending up near them, and then killing them. So I see that as a maybe option. We also know that there's the main house hall, the main eating hall in Winterfell, got put back up because it got burned down, and it's been put back up real shitty. And like the stable, it's probably going to fall down. And so who it falls down on is a toss-up in my mind between Ramses killing a bunch of his own lords to do some consolidation of power and trying to get control for himself and kill his dad and shit, or maybe Stannis gets into Winterfell, Ramses is still alive, sneaks in with the men, drops the roof on him. So and there's probably more like you'd get like down the line too, but just like even just that, like post battle, I see it as much more likely as Stannis wins the battle and then dies afterwards, not like he dies in battle or they lose the battle somehow. Like it wouldn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, because narratively the setup is the Boltons are infighting, like the Bolton faction is infighting, because like last we see Ramsay and that like they are fighting
Yeah.
openly, and it's like very atypical because Bruce Bolton raises his voice, and it's like, oh shit, he never does that. So like
Yeah, they make
the
a big deal.
Boltons
They
are,
make a big deal that he's raised his voice, and things
yeah,
have gone wrong. And the Manderleys are going to turn too, so it's like we know that things are going to go at least pretty damn bad for the Freys. And the Freys are a big chunk of Bolton forces. They're not like nobody. They have like quite a few guys there, right? Like
yeah.
1,200 men or some shit, like at Winterfell. They got a few dudes with them.
What I think will happen, if you are willing to entertain me,
Of course.
uh, what I think will happen is we have the setup of like there's the setup in the Theon sample chapter, spoilers, uh, that Stannis needs to execute Theon, to appease the Mountain Clansmen and like the Northerners. But we also have Arnulf Karstark. I think there will be a switcheroo where Arnulf Karstark gets burnt as Theon, and the burning of Karstark will be on the Isle in the lake to provide like the night lamp thing. But that will burn down the Weirwood. And I think what will happen is Stannis' downfall will come from northern paranoia that he will burn down the Godswood at Winterfell. I think that is what is going to happen. I think Night Lamp will win him the battle, but cost him the war because the Northerners will not accept Stannis burning a Weirwood.
Yeah.
Not in the long term, anyway.
Yeah.
Especially if they think
So
he'll burn
do you
down
think
the one
he's
in
gonna burn
Winterfell.
Shireen at Winterfell? Or like, because I felt like he's gonna have to turn around and end up back at the wall somehow. Like,
Yeah,
or,
that's always been my
like
thought.
he might march down south further, but still, I mean, like, there's also a chance that he would just have to just turn right back around and go back to the wall and deal with what's going on up there.
I think it's very like I know George, or like we have confirmation that Shireen's burning is from the books. I'm not convinced it's necessarily Stannis doing it because like I know narratively it makes sense for Stannis, but logistically it's winter. Like even in summer it's 3 weeks from Winterfell to the Wall. It's winter. How will Shireen go to the Wall, or alternatively Stannis go?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shireen come to Winterfell, or Stannis go to the Wall.
So you think
That is
Shireen?
very unlikely.
You think Shireen would be burned without Stannis's permission? Because that's something I saw as like also potentially likely.
Yeah, I think it will be Melisandre in order to uh, in order to maybe save Stannis after the news of the pink letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She will burn either Shireen or the baby or both.
I've always thought that's a like good possibility of how it happens is that she's
Yeah.
like, well, this isn't here to stop me. Time to burn Shireen, and that seems like completely possible to me. My thought after that, and this is way less likely, but way more fun, is that Davos gets back, finds out, immediately goes to kill Mel, and pulls out a flaming sword, and it turns out she got very close to figuring out who Azor Ahai was, but that's tinfoil and wish fulfillment.
Davos.
Ooh,
Davos as Azor Ahai. That's fun. It is fun.
That's my personal preference. I feel like at the end
Azor-
you'll be able to figure
Azor
out 6
Avos.
possible people who are Azor Ahai. It'll be more ambiguous, but if Davos is one of them, I'll be happy.
So I have a pet theory about that. So you know how we've been, Melisandre saw Jon Snow in the fire when she asked about like the true king or Azor Ahai or whatever. I think that she's gonna burn Shireen for the purpose of like bringing forth Azor Ahai, and that's gonna be what brings Jon back to life.
Yeah, no, I thought the same thing too, and I think that she might even change her mind because that line where she's like, I'm looking for the true king, but all I see is snow. I'm like, oh, it's a not
Yeah.
very subtle hint that she's gonna like once again
make an interpretation of who Azor Ahai is. And like, I don't think that anyone necessarily is Azor Ahai, and I don't think that Jon is necessarily special like that. But I think that she's going to once again make an interpretation. She might change her mind about who it is. And if that's true, then yeah, then she might kill Shireen, and in order to be like, well, I fucked up, and it's time for me to resurrect the true Azor Ahai.
Well, yeah, I think that's entirely possible. Or that she burns Shireen on the bring back our king, our Lord of Light, and then Jon comes back and not
Yeah.
Stannis. Stannis isn't
Ooh.
dead to be brought back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe that's kind of how it's going to happen. To an extent, I think I don't know when timing-wise that will happen because I don't know. Like Preston talks about the whole Castle Black thing and that there must be like a bigger plot and Bone Marsh must think to win. But I'm like, does he? I don't know. It seems like it's all very subtle. Like he gets killed immediately after announcing he's gonna fucking betray his vows. Pardon the language.
Yeah.
I think the answer might lie somewhere in the middle. Preston
The-
Jacobs might be right about all the hints of him planning and gathering up a little conspiracy of people, and he probably does have not the whole Night's Watch, but like a little crew. But I don't know if they have like a big ass master plan to fight everybody. I think they're just kind of going for it and hoping that all the dice fall in the right place. So like that's why like because if they have a master plan, I feel like people like Mel are going to get caught up in that and then like put in jails or like killed. Like it's like I think it's going to be a lot looser, and that's
if we're going from like
even escape and do a burning and blah blah blah.
if we're going from like George's fascination with history and all that, how that plays in too. Some of the most successful like coups of all time had a very low number of people and just immediately caused enough chaos and jumped in at the right spot to like take control. It was not that they didn't need a superly well organized, intricate plan with a lot of people. They just needed to be the first people making decisions in chaos that nobody expected. And when you create that chaos, you are guaranteed to be the person who gets the first move, basically.
Yeah, no, and so the only problem with that is like, for example, like Craster's Keep, that basically that scenario went down. Like small band of people had the power to just like take out the leadership, did so. But as soon as everyone calmed down for half a second, people were like, "Oh, well, they killed the command. They're out of the Night's Watch. They're criminals."
Yeah.
Now. So it's like what runs the risk of happening is if Bowen Marsh doesn't have a plan to legitimize his power grab or to put someone else in charge right away who's legitimate, he runs the risk of all the people who voted for John being like, well, hang on a hot second, you just murdered the Lord Commander in like cold blood.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why it's like, no, I think that is some strat. I just don't think that it's necessarily thought out to the degree that's presented in the video, where it's like this elaborate strategy to kill everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe one or two of those things is true, maybe none of those things is true, but I think the premise of he's gathered all these people together, and we see him doing that, and we see him getting gradually, like, I think all the steps that Preston Jacobs shows of it building up are all very valid, and it
was like, the opportunity that was too good to waste, sort of scenario.
Yeah, it was definitely like they were planning on trying doing this for a minute or two, and then and then whether they staged it or not, the opportunity presented itself, and they did the action that they were planning to do, which was to kill him.
Yes.
I actually think that they were planning to get rid of John, but in a different way. And the whole pink letter forced their hand to act at that moment.
I would
because
agree with that.
I think that the plan was that, John was supposed to lead another expedition to Hardhome, right? I think like Bowen would have just assumed command of the wall and just not let him through afterward. And that's how he wanted to get rid of John. But then John said, "Nope, I'm not actually going there. I'm gonna go south to kill Ramsay Bolton because I'm mad because of the pink letter." So he was like, "Oh shit, we need to act now. Come on, now, guys." So
Yeah,
I think
that could easily
that's
be
what happened.
it could easily be they were forced into taking the action that they wanted to take quicker than they wanted to, or at a different time than they wanted to.
Yeah.
Or they were forced to kill him when they just could have abandoned him north of the wall after the Hardhome thing, Because like it's much easier to just not let him back through the wall after Hardhome, assuming he survives,
Or just have him stabbed while he's out there. Like,
Yeah.
there's always somebody who could just stab somebody else in the back when they're not looking,
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
so Navanda Astra just asked about Davos's finger bones, and I want to take a moment to be very upset about that. Uh, so, I mean, we all know about
My luck.
Melisandre saying about that you can use glamour, and she says, "Oh, like a bag of finger bones." Uh, but like, I think that's meant to be in reference to like somebody could have them. I think she was just trying to mess with him a little bit because the ship he was on exploded right on the Blackwater, and he swam for his life on a burning in a burning river out into the sea. And by the time he was washed up on his rock, his finger bones were gone. So I mean, it would just be incredibly contrived if the finger bones managed to were found by someone else. I think it's sort of like how, and this is going to be another theory. The whole like accidentally killing your father isn't necessarily in relation to John. It's more saying like in relation to somebody else killing their family member, like Theon killing his son. And there is a type of fae that glamours themselves with bones. So I don't think she's literally saying like, "Oh, Lord Davos, like somebody got your finger bones and they're using them for glamour," because like it how?
It would
How?
have to be like it would have,
I'm
well, it could be one of the mermaids, the
Mermaids.
patch face.
Yeah, unless it's a mermaid, and that I would buy because, and this is actually so this is a plug for my upcoming series, The Fae of Ice and Fire. Um the Selkies, mermaids, banshees, all of these are different types of fae. And glamour is fae magic. And we know that bones can be used in glamour, mermaids are fae, bing, bang, boom. That would be fine. But literally anybody other than a mermaid or a squisher, no. All right.
uh
Yeah.
if I
Well,
might intervene,
we went down to pick them up.
if I may interject, I don't think I just looked it up because there's such a good tool called the Search of Ice and Fire, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
use
Thank you.
always to find out. I have the passage, and it's not like Melisandre doesn't even talk to Davos in that scene. That it's from Dance when she talks to Mance about the glamour. I may read the passage if you want to.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
for it.
please.
Okay. Mance Raider chuckled. I had my doubts as well, Snow, but why not let her try? It was that, or let Stannis roast me. The bones help, said Melisandre. The bones, remember. The strongest glamours are built of such things. A dead man's boots, a hank of hair, a bag of finger bones. With whispered words and prayer, a man's shadow can be drawn forth from such, and draped about another like a cloak. The wearer's essence does not change, only his seeming. This is from the Melisandre chapter in Dance.
Yeah. Oh,
So
you,
this is not even like said to Davos. It's just I think she just mentions it off the cuff because she was thinking of Davos in the moment. But it's like Davos isn't even there when that's mentioned.
and
So
I think there was a point maybe when she meant to kill him and replace him, and she would have used the finger bones for the new person.
had they not been lost, obviously.
Yeah. Um yeah, cuz they are lost. Everybody. The
No,
finger bones are gone.
you meant to kill Davos at a certain point.
Sorry.
She doesn't like Davos. The only reason she puts up with him is that he has this unwavering loyalty to Stannis.
She also seems to want to use him, and at least in the, it seemed that way in the chapter when she rose him under, or when he rose her under Storm's End. It seemed like she thought he had like some importance and kind of wanted to use him for the same purpose as the Shadow Baby creation.
Yeah, but that's book 2.
Is it book 2 or book 3? I thought that happened when Mel visits him in the dungeon of Dragonstone. just
So
before Alistair comes.
yeah, so the thing is, when she uses men to make the shadow babies, it sucks some of their life force out.
Yeah.
So it would have weakened him. I think she sees him as an emissary of the drowned god. But she also knows that that he's loyal to Stannis. And so like I think she's kind of like hedging her bets. So Ross is saying she stole the bones to manipulate Stannis if required. When did she take them though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that doesn't work.
she didn't take him because he had him on the boat with him. I
Yeah.
think he
Like
clutches bones. He clutches
Like
the
in
bones before they go into battle and shit.
yeah, and that was he touches the bones in every fucking like chapter.
Yeah,
In
Yeah,
and
yeah,
every
Melisandre
volume.
wasn't there
he
at the
touches
battle.
the bones before they go into battle, and then in the battle he gets knocked off the ship and he gets drowned. And he loses the bones; they're gone.
Yeah, they're like no, Ross. I mean, he says easy to find something replace the ones he had in the battle. Yeah, but it has to be his finger bones.
It,
Yeah,
to be
yeah, they're
used to
important.
use as
They're
the
important because
glamour.
they came off his fingers, is why they're important.
Yeah. Pinky Justice said, I think Davos might be a drowned white, a la Patches. Always made more sense to me than Merfolk. I just think that's a happy coincidence that Davos survived, to be fair.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
But
mean,
yeah,
I
Davos just has normal ass person thoughts too, so I don't feel like that he's any kind of white or anything. I think that Davos is just a Davos.
I think he
I
was
I
rescued through some sort of contrivance of the drowned god. I don't think he's a white, so I don't think he's like patch face. I don't think he actually died, but I think it was a baptism. Everybody go read How to Read Literature Like a Professor. If there's water, it's a baptism.
yeah. Also,
Yeah, he gets
I
hungry and
personally
thirsty and
think
almost dies of exposure. Yeah, no, thank you, Jackie.
no. It's also I don't think that we'll ever have a white POV, like any type of white POV. That's why I also think we won't have John POV anymore. I think we'll
Yeah,
have John
it,
chapters and it'll just be
yeah.
John Con.
I don't think a white POV would be anything because whites are animated by someone else using their psychic powers, more or less.
No. You misunderstood. I think that like fire whites like Catelyn and and Beric have a way more like agency,
Oh no,
obviously.
yeah, Barrack definitely had
But
shit going on within him for sure. Absolutely,
yeah,
Barrack
but
could have a conversation with you, and he could express his feelings and thoughts, and he told you what he was experiencing. Like he definitely had shit going on.
I'm of the opinion that once you become a white, you're not gonna be a POV character anymore. I'm sorry, an alarm of mine just went off. Sorry. And it's like almost 7 a.m. for me, but I'm
Oh my
sick,
God,
so that's why I'm
Andy.
able to be around. I'm sick. I'm not going to work. Leave me alone.
Well, but
Uh,
if you're sick, you should sleep.
well, I slept already. I fell asleep like earlier. I slept
Oh,
throughout the day as
I
well.
did that
I slept throughout the
yesterday.
day. Um. Anyway, what was I going to say? That's why I think Jon Snow, will not have any POVs anymore. I think we will see him through Melisandre, throughout Winds, and maybe also Dream if that ever comes out. And there will be Jon chapters in Winds, but it'll just be JonCon, and it'll be the biggest fucking tease.
That
Like
is
people
that.
see Jon, and it's just the Walls of Storm's End or something.
Yeah, no, that I think is a good one. I that would be fun. I don't know. I kind of wonder. I kind of feel like maybe there will be John chapters again, but I also like. I do think it'd be interesting if there were no John chapters. That would be a great twist.
I think the real telling thing, like, it'll be other people seeing John again once like reunions start to happen. Seeing, like, I think it'll be staggered, right? Like, I think that a Sansa or Arya reunion is not out of the question, and then they're gonna see a lot of change. But part of that is because he's been away at the wall for so long. I think a Sam reunion is going to be the most telling of like how much he has changed, because Sam was there with him through thick and thin, through some of the most like trying experiences. And if he notices a huge difference, that's going to be like a big tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of how could you be so cruel to Gilly because of the baby swap? So already Sam has like a bit disillusioned with John. So that might just add a bit, like a slight bit of ambiguity to it, just because John changes behavior a lot once he becomes Lord Commander to begin with. So yeah, just saying.
Yeah. So it is about 1:45 here on the East Coast time.
Yes, it is.
We've been going for almost 2 hours, so I think maybe we oughta should call it. Um, but
Mm.
this has been just an absolute blast, everybody. Chat, please check out the links that we've posted. Some of them are to songs, some of them are to cool YouTubers that you should check out. Um, uh,
I'm also going to post the Winterfell theory that was mentioned earlier, like the Winter Claw, which is like a very good theory. It's like very. I would recommend this to be read.
yeah,
I
actually,
don't agree with everything, but like it's one of the earliest comprehensive theories about.
yeah. Um, yeah, please do. And uh, if any of you guys would like to plug your stuff before we close out, I think everybody knows where to find you, but just in case. Did I lose you guys?
Um,
Oh, okay.
no,
Uh,
no, no. I don't know
I'll plug your
if who
stuff if you want
uh,
to.
sure. I mean, uh, sure. If you want to plug everybody's stuff, go for it.
Okay. Well, Zach is here visiting from the Interesting Nerd Club. It's where I spend a lot of my time. They make very funny videos. If you like to listen to Glidus and Swifty talk, but Americans who post more regularly, come check out Interesting Nerd Club. They don't have the cool Australian accents, but that's okay. They have a
I'll be
Discord
quick.
server that
I
I will
want out,
be.
but then
Huh?
Gladys will show up in my bedroom and kill me if I do it poorly.
Yeah, please do not do not do mock up accents to anybody of
Me,
anybody's accent.
you'll fucking kill you, you Jongo.
What even is a Jongo? What does
Oh,
that
no.
mean?
It's a Drongo is like an idiot or something,
Oh,
something like that. I don't know. It's
Drongo?
yeah, yeah, Drongo.
It
Yeah,
sounds like you're saying
If
Jongo.
yeah. I guess a bit. It sounds a bit like that, but that's
Jongo.
how you. It's a Drongo. Dr.
if he sees me at Macca's, it's on site.
Oh
Yep.
God. Yeah.
Fucking oath.
Um. So that is the link to the Interesting Nerd Club server. Oh, a Drongo is a bird. Thank you.
Thank you, mother.
Yes. Random Internet Guy is fantastic. You can find him on YouTube at Random Internet Guy. He also has a Discord. Do you want me to? I can link your Discord too.
You can if you want to. I need to go in and actually like start being active in my Discord and reorganize it a little bit.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
literally
dude.
I've
haven't.
been spending all of my time talking to you guys in the thing. I'm old and it's hard for me to keep up with the youth and the conversation and stuff, you know.
Actually,
Yeah.
I bet
Definitely come
if you
watch the
wanted to
videos.
just port yours over and become a mod at Interesting Nerd Club, I think Tom might be down for that. Everybody listening, I didn't say that. You didn't hear me say anything. I don't speak for anybody other than myself.
We'll definitely come watch the videos, even if you don't.
Technically, I'm the one who's the terms to do that, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah. And Andy's gonna make a video soon. I know it's supposed to be a meme that Andy's been talking about a video for 5 years and hasn't done it. But
Yeah,
now
it's because, but now I'm actually on it. So,
I've committed you. I've told everybody that you're putting one out, and so now you have to. It's on the
Oh,
internet,
definitely.
Andy.
I've committed myself. No, I've committed myself publicly already. Now this just seals it.
Yep.
I now have to become an official nerd.
It's a done deal. Andy is joining the ranks.
Yep.
All right.
You
Well,
can find me in Glidus' server on the interesting, or like you can find me on Random Internet Guy server, on Glidus' server, or just on the Interesting Nerd Club server.
yay! You can find me there too. I'm never gonna make a Discord. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna mooch off of other people's Discords. This is the way.
I'm never making one either. So yeah.
Server at least.
Yay!
I can't somebody else's server, but you're a welcomed guest.
Yeah, I mooch off of Interesting Nerd Club, Random Internet Guy, and Glidus.
That's exactly what I'll do as well.
Yay! All right. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
All right.